The season opens with Percy Jackson, a 12-year-old who has never felt like he belongs. School feels hostile, authority figures never understand him, and monsters from Greek myths keep appearing in his life, even though no one else can see them. The only person who stands by him is Grover, his loyal but awkward best friend, who understands what it feels like to be an outsider. Everything shifts during a school field trip to the Metropolitan Museum of Art. When a bully targets Grover, Percy reacts without thinking. Water from a nearby fountain suddenly surges forward and knocks the bully into it. Percy barely has time to process what happened before his pre-algebra teacher, Mrs. Dodds, pulls him aside. She transforms into a fury named Alecto and attacks him, demanding to know where something powerful is hidden. Just in time, Percy uses a pen given to him by his teacher, Mr. Brunner, which transforms into a bronze sword called Riptide. Acting purely on instinct, Percy strikes the monster, turning her into dust. When the moment passes, no one remembers Mrs. Dodds ever existing, leaving Percy questioning his own sanity. Soon after, Percy is expelled from school. His final interaction with Mr. Brunner hints that his life is about to change forever. Back home in New York, Percy deals with his cruel stepfather, Gabe, while his mother, Sally, remains his only source of comfort and belief. Sally takes Percy to their cabin in Montauk, where a violent storm rolls in. There, Percy admits he feels broken, like he was never meant to fit into the world around him. Sally finally tells him the truth. The gods of Greek myth are real, and Percy is a demigod, the son of a god she met years ago. Their conversation is cut short when Grover arrives and reveals his true identity as a satyr. He explains that monsters are hunting Percy, and the only safe place is Camp Half-Blood. As they race toward the camp, a massive Minotaur attacks their car. Sally sacrifices herself to save Percy, vanishing in a flash of golden light. Overcome with grief and anger, Percy fights the Minotaur, ripping off one of its horns and killing it. Exhausted, he collapses at the camp's border. He later awakes to see a centaur welcoming him to Camp Half-Blood, the place he was always meant to be. With Percy waking up in the Camp Half-Blood infirmary after the Minotaur attack, the first face he sees is Annabeth Chase, who bluntly tells him that he drools in his sleep. When Grover arrives, Percy's relief quickly turns into anger and grief over his mother's death. He storms off, determined to confront the god who abandoned him. Percy's search leads him to Mr. D, the camp's director, who mocks him by calling him Peter Johnson and jokingly pretending to be his father. The moment is cut short by Chiron, who appears in his true centaur form and explains the truth. Percy realizes that the gods exist, but compassion does not come easily to them. Chiron shows Percy around Camp Half-Blood and explains that his sword, Riptide, will always return to him. Percy sees the cabins of the 12 Olympian gods, but learns his father has not claimed him yet. Until that happens, Percy is placed in the Hermes cabin, where he meets Luke Castellan. Luke offers guidance instead of cruelty, explaining that earning glory, kleos, can force a god to acknowledge their child. As Percy trains, strange things begin to surface. Grover secretly learns that Sally Jackson is not truly dead, but taken by Hades, and is ordered to keep the truth from Percy. Meanwhile, Percy suffers from intense nightmares, where a mysterious voice feeds his anger toward his absent father. Luke reassures him that these dreams, along with ADHD and dyslexia, are part of being a demigod. Percy struggles with most training activities until Clarice, daughter of Ares, targets him. She corners him in a bathroom with her friends, but when things turn violent, the water erupts and blasts her away. Percy controls it without realizing how. Annabeth reveals she has been watching Percy while invisible, waiting to see if he is powerful enough to help her win Capture the Flag. During the game,
Percy is used as bait and faces Clarisse again on the beach. Outnumbered, he fights back fiercely before being shoved into the water. Instead of drowning, his wounds heal, and a glowing green trident appears above his head. Chiron announces Percy has been claimed by Poseidon. That night, Percy moves into his own cabin and learns the truth. Zeus's master bolt has been stolen, war is approaching, and Percy is blamed. When Grover finally tells him his mother is alive in the Underworld, Percy accepts the quest, choosing to fight for her and stop a war between the gods.
At Camp Half-Blood, with Percy climbing into the attic of the big house to consult the oracle, wrapped in green mist, the oracle speaks in the voice of Percy's stepfather and delivers a chilling prophecy. Percy will travel west, face a god who is turned, recover what was stolen, be betrayed by a friend, and still fail to save what matters most. Chiron orders Percy to choose 2 companions for the quest. Percy selects Annabeth for her focus and discipline, then chooses Grover, who he trusts deeply, hoping that choice might change the fate promised in the prophecy. Before they leave, Luke gives Percy a pair of winged sneakers from Hermes. Annabeth pauses at Thalia's tree, where Grover explains that Thalia, daughter of Zeus, sacrificed herself and was transformed into the tree protecting the camp. On the road, tension rises quickly. Annabeth takes control, Percy pushes back, and Grover tries to keep peace. They travel by bus to avoid Zeus's sky, but danger finds them anyway. At a rest stop, Annabeth discovers Alecto, the Fury, hiding on the bus. Alecto offers Annabeth an easy victory if she betrays Percy. Annabeth refuses, and the trio escapes into the woods. They follow the smell of food to Auntie M's garden gnome emporium and realize too late that Auntie M is Medusa. Medusa scares off the pursuing Fury and invites them inside. She tells her story, blaming the gods for turning her into a monster and drawing parallels between herself and Percy's mother. She attempts to manipulate Percy, warning him of betrayal and offering to remove his friends. The truth is revealed in Medusa's basement, filled with stone victims, including Grover's uncle. Working together, the trio defeats Medusa using a coordinated plan. When Alecto returns, Percy uses Medusa's head to turn the Fury to stone. Afterward, secrets come out and tensions flare until Grover reminds them that trust is the only way forward. United at last, Percy makes a defiant choice, mailing Medusa's head to Mount Olympus, with Hermes delivering the package, a clear signal that the gods are paying attention. With a quiet memory from Percy's childhood, at a public swimming lesson, young Percy clings to the edge of the pool, terrified to let go. His mother, Sally, is unusually anxious, insisting he must learn to swim, because one day it could be dangerous if he does not. Her fear feels deeper than the moment. When Percy senses her panic, he repeats her own words back to her, telling her to just breathe. The memory dissolves into Percy's recurring nightmare, a barren wasteland where a shadowy voice calls him a forbidden hero and warns that someone is coming. Percy wakes from the dream on a train heading towards St. Louis with Annabeth and Grover. Unable to sleep, Percy and Annabeth finally talk honestly. Annabeth reveals the truth about her birth. As a daughter of Athena, she was not born naturally, but formed from thought and gifted to a mortal father. She felt loved until her father started a new family, when she became something inconvenient, something to manage. She ran away at 7. Percy pushes back against the gods, arguing that parents should not force children to earn love or respect. Annabeth defends the gods in her own way, saying their rules are harsh but clear. Later, Grover opens up about his purpose. He wants to become a searcher, a satyr devoted to finding the lost god Pan. Nature is dying, mythological creatures are fading, and Grover believes Pan's return could restore balance.
It is the first time Percy realizes how heavy Grover's mission truly is. The train ride turns violent when something crashes through their cabin window. A calm woman speaks to the police, blaming the kids for the chaos. Once alone, Grover notices glass embedded in her clothes and realizes the truth. She is Echidna, the mother of monsters. She calmly claims demigods are the real monsters and releases her child from a carrier. The creature stings Percy before the trio barely escapes the train. Weak and poisoned, Percy is led by Annabeth to the St. Louis Gateway Arch. She believes it is a sanctuary, a temple to Athena built by one of her children. But something is wrong. The water does not heal Percy. Annabeth admits the truth. Athena has withdrawn her protection, offended by the delivery of Medusa's head to Olympus. Echidna and her monster, now fully grown into the Chimera, follow them inside. Trapped at the top of the arch, Annabeth prepares to stay behind and fight so Percy and Grover can escape. Percy pretends to agree, hands her riptide, then pulls her to safety instead. He locks himself in with the monsters, choosing to sacrifice himself. Poisoned and outmatched, Percy fights anyway. Echidna tears open the floor, and Percy falls from the top of the arch toward the river below. As he plunges, a massive surge of water rises from the Mississippi and catches him. Panicking underwater, Percy is met by a Nereid, a messenger of Poseidon. She tells him his father has always been watching, that he is proud, and reminds him to just breathe. Percy does, and for the first time, he realizes he can breathe underwater.
With Percy emerging from the Mississippi River beneath the damaged Gateway Arch, Annabeth and Grover rush to him, overwhelmed with relief. Percy apologizes for pushing Annabeth out of harm's way, but she silences him with a long hug. He then explains that a Nereid saved him and delivered a message from Poseidon. His father is ready to help, and Percy must meet him at Santa Monica Beach in Los Angeles. That hope fades quickly. Police and news helicopters surround the area. Now fugitives, the trio is forced to travel on foot. While hiding by the roadside, Annabeth reveals something chilling. She saw the three fates cut a life thread, a sign that one of them will die soon. Their journey takes a sharp turn when Ares, the god of war, pulls up on his motorcycle. He offers a deal. If Percy and Annabeth retrieve his stolen shield from a nearby water park, he will help them reach the Underworld. Grover must stay behind as collateral. At a diner, Ares needles Percy with stories of the gods' brutality and insists that war between Zeus and Poseidon is inevitable. Percy and Annabeth head to Waterland, an abandoned park built by Hephaestus. They realize Ares lost his shield during a secret meeting with Aphrodite. To retrieve it, they ride the Tunnel of Love, which tells Hephaestus' story of betrayal and humiliation. At the end, they find the shield held by a statue on a golden throne. Percy immediately understands the trap. Someone has to sit and be sacrificed. Percy chooses himself. As gold slowly encases him, Annabeth refuses to abandon him. Her defiance draws out Hephaestus, and she challenges the god's cycle of cruelty and betrayal. Moved by her words, Hephaestus frees Percy, admitting that some gods despise their own nature. Meanwhile, Grover manipulates Ares by appealing to his ego and resentment toward Athena, gathering crucial information. By the time the trio reunites, Grover believes he knows who truly stole the Master Bolt. Ares honors the deal, giving them supplies and sending them toward Las Vegas. Their next stop is the Lotus Casino, where Hermes can guide them to Los Angeles. Percy, Annabeth, and Grover continue west inside the back of an animal transport truck, exhausted and boxed in. Percy drifts into another nightmare and comes face to face with a looming presence, the Titan Kronos. He berates the unseen lightning thief for losing the Master Bolt, threatens replacement, then turns his attention to Percy, calling him a little hero and promising their meeting will come later. Percy wakes knowing the war is being shaped by something ancient. Annabeth uses an iris message to contact Camp Half-Blood,
but Chiron does not answer. Luke appears instead and reveals the camp is splitting as demigods quietly choose sides. Percy and Annabeth share their theory that Clarice is the thief, unaware how wrong it is. Grover then exposes the truth about the truck. The drivers are animal traffickers. Using his bond with animals, Grover releases the cargo onto the Las Vegas Strip. Chaos erupts, and the trio slips away into the city. Their next stop is the Lotus Hotel and Casino. They recognize the danger immediately and swear not to eat or drink. Inside, they split up to find Hermes. Percy and Annabeth talk while searching, with Annabeth explaining Luke's resentment toward his father, Hermes, blaming him for what happened to his mother. Percy shares his prophetic dreams. They eventually find Hermes, who avoids responsibility and resists helping them. Elsewhere, Grover meets another satyr, Augustus, who has been trapped in the casino for decades while searching for Pan. His fading memories foreshadow Grover's own struggle as the casino begins to pull him in. Annabeth finally gets Hermes to talk by mentioning Luke. He admits his help often causes harm and reveals there is a secret entrance to the underworld, then lets them leave. Moments later, the truth hits. What felt like minutes was actually days. The summer solstice has passed. The war has begun. Percy and Annabeth rescue Grover from a virtual reality game before he forgets himself completely. Annabeth reveals she stole Hermes' car keys, and they escape in his magical taxi, with Percy barely managing to drive before it transports them to the Santa Monica beach. Percy enters the ocean hoping to see Poseidon, but his father has already left to prepare for war. A Nereid appears instead, delivers Poseidon's pride, and gives Percy 4 magical pearls, each one a single escape from the underworld. Her final words land with weight. Save the world, then save your mother.
With flashbacks to Percy's childhood, reframing everything about Sally Jackson, she fights to enroll young Percy in Yancey Academy, a school for children who struggle to fit in. The counselor refuses, disturbed by Percy's monster drawings and a dangerous incident on a school roof. Outside the office, Percy asks Sally why she is trying to get rid of him, and the question devastates her. That night, Sally makes a burnt offering with an ice cream sundae and summons Poseidon. She asks if Percy should be sent to Camp Half-Blood. Poseidon cares, but divine law holds him back. He tells her to let Percy grow up in the mortal world first, and promises he will stand by his son when Percy finally understands who he is. In the present, Percy, Annabeth, and Grover arrive at Krusty's Waterbed Palace in Los Angeles. The owner, Procrustes, another son of Poseidon, tries to trap Percy on a deadly waterbed. Percy plays along until Annabeth, invisible, shoves Krusty onto his own trap. In the back room, they find the secret entrance to the underworld. They reach the River Styx, where Charon ferries souls across. When he realizes they are alive, he releases Cerberus. Chaos follows. Cerberus swallows Grover. Annabeth calms the beast by scratching behind its ears, and the trio escapes over the gate. In the confusion, Grover loses one of the escape pearls. The journey leads them into the fields of Asphodel, where souls are rooted by regret. Cerberus finds them again, and they scatter. Annabeth is trapped by the roots, forced to confront an unspoken regret. To survive and let the quest continue, she uses her pearl and vanishes from the underworld, leaving Percy and Grover behind. As they press on, Grover's winged shoes suddenly drag him toward a massive pit. Percy anchors him with Riptide just in time, watching the shoes tear free and fall into Tartarus. Moments later, they hear a metallic clang in Percy's backpack. Inside is Zeus's master bolt. Percy realizes Ares framed them from the start. They finally reach Hades' palace, expecting a monster, but find a calm and measured god. Hades shows them Sally, preserved in gold, explaining he saved her and kept her as leverage. When Percy accuses him of stealing the bolt, Hades reveals his helm of darkness was stolen first and believes Percy took both. The truth locks into place. Kronos is manipulating everything, pushing the gods toward war. Fearing the Titan, Hades offers safety in the Underworld in exchange for the Master Bolt. Percy refuses and makes a new deal. He will return the Helm of Darkness for his mother's freedom. Percy and Grover use their remaining pearls to escape, reappearing on the beach at Montauk. As they recover, Percy senses danger. Ares approaches from the distance. Percy draws Riptide, ready for the final confrontation.
Percy challenges the god of war to a duel. First blood wins. If Percy loses, Ares takes the Master Bolt. If Percy wins, Ares hands over Hades' stolen helm. Ares dominates the fight, treating it like entertainment, but Percy fights smart. He draws power from the ocean, summons a massive wave, and uses the opening to slash Ares' heel. Divine blood hits the sand. Enraged and humiliated, Ares declares Percy his enemy for life and disappears, leaving the helm behind. Percy returns the helm through the Fury Alecto, securing his mother's release. Ignoring warnings, he insists on delivering the Master Bolt himself. At the Empire State Building, Percy ascends to Mount Olympus and returns the bolt to Zeus, warning him that Kronos is behind everything. Zeus refuses to listen and nearly strikes Percy down until Poseidon intervenes, offering himself to protect his son. After Zeus leaves, Percy and Poseidon share their first real moment as father and son. It is proud, restrained, and unresolved. When Percy asks about Sally, Poseidon avoids the question and sends him safely back to camp. At Camp Half-Blood, Percy is celebrated as a hero. Later, Luke draws him into the woods under the pretense of reporting Kronos. Alone, Percy realizes the truth. Luke is the lightning thief. Luke confirms he serves Kronos and tries to recruit Percy. Percy refuses. A fight. Annabeth reveals herself, and Luke escapes through a portal carved by his sword. Summer ends with goodbyes. Grover earns his searcher's license and leaves to find Pan. Annabeth returns to her father. Percy reunites with his mother, safe at last. The moment breaks. Percy wakes from the dream. Kronos stands before him and delivers his warning. Percy's survival is the key to his return. The war is only beginning.